We'll have Camden Haggard out of Humboldt, Iowa, the 95 on the inside of the first row. Alongside from Lehigh, that is George Gilland in the 40. Randy Winter making the pull down in his QA1 Chucks 3W on the inside of row number 2. Out of Winnebago, Minnesota. Alongside it's Bill Wagner from Armstrong, Iowa, the 79W. Row number 3, it's Matt Loaf, the 9 out of Sway City. On the outside, it's Colby Fett, the 00 out of Algona. Row number 4, Alec Fett, the 08 out of Burton, the inside of the 4th row. And Charlie Stevens from Algona, the 81. Your final starter here in heat race number 2. Field forming up with Camden Haggard and George Gilland on row number 1. Last year's track champion is Matt Loaf. He'll score off on the inside of row number 3. Well, that could have been a little interesting here on the front straightaway as car getting waved across. And thankfully, it appeared nobody worse for the wear. So we will take an extra lap or so here to get that all squared away and get Matt Loaf back where he needs to be in the starting order. Obviously did not. Get a lap into this one. So obviously a complete restart. Thankfully, as I said, nobody sustaining any damage, I don't believe. And we will move on here tonight. Camden Haggard, George Gilland on row number 1. Try another time. Out of turn number 4. We are underway. Camden Haggard with a good run to the back straightaway. The Dirt Show QA1 Chucks 3W of Randy Winter up into the top 2 there. Matt Loaf, Alec Fett, 3rd and 4th. And looks like that's how they'll run here on lap number 1. Stevens already up a couple, as is Colby Fett in the 00. Out as we got trouble in turn number 4. 5 cars either involved or obviously 4 cars involved. George spinning to make sure he was not involved. Randy Winter, unfortunately, losing the handle there in turn number 3. And didn't have a whole lot of real estate to work with there in turn number 4. So a handful of cars getting together in this one. So working on cleanup at the north end of the Speedway. As we said, we come back. Racing, weekly action. Next week here at the Thunderdome, Fan Appreciation Night, May 22nd. Our Sport Mod Special is May 29th. The Bex Hybrid Stock Car Special will be June 5th. Lots of excitement over the IMCA Race Saver Sprints coming to town for the, I think, first time as Race Saver Sprints, I believe, on June 12th. The IMCA Race Saver Sprints, along with all the rest of our classes of cars, will be here on the 12th of June. Bumblebee Nationals for our Sport Compacts will be June 26th. On July 3rd, that'll be the American-made late model special. The Brady Becker Memorial returns. That is the IMC Modified Special here July 10th. The Jess Weishauer Memorial, that's our hobby stock special. That'll be July 17th. Salute to Veterans right here at the Speedway will be here July 24th. The fair race this year will take place on Thursday. Thursday of the fair, that'll be July 31st. So our fair race, the Gary Harkin and Denny Hovengay Memorial, they'll be combined on July 31st. The Schatzsnyder Memorial, the Gene Schatzsnyder Memorial, that'll be August 7th. Driver Appreciation Night will be August 14th, and the Jake Long Memorial will take place August 21st during our season championship season-ending event late in August. Of course, our concession stand is open. Grab yourself an ice cold beverage, Pepsi products, ice cold beer, beverages. We've got cheeseburgers, hamburgers, chicken sandwiches, pulled pork, hot dogs, nachos about any way you want them, mac and cheese, fruit cups. I guess if you want to be healthy, we got fruit cups, malt cups, cotton candy, little Laffy Taffy. So apologize for taking a little bit there to get to turn number 4 cleaned up, as unfortunately one of the wreckers had a problem here during right ahead of hot laps here tonight. So certainly working as quickly as we could there in turn 3 and 4. A lap was recorded, maybe 2. Back underway in this one, down the back straightaway. Haggard, Loft, Fett, Stevens, and George. The running order, not yet to the halfway mark of Sport Mod Heat Race number 2. Loft on the back straightaway, took a peek to the inside of Haggard. So far, Haggard too strong, but will go up the banking here on turn 4, maintains momentum. And Loaf not able to capitalize. Alec Fett trying to run down the top 2 in the back straightaway. Stevens falling back just a little bit here in the 81. Laps clicking away in this one. We come to the green flag high in the air. Pair of laps remaining. Haggard, I think, can sense some pressure about to be applied here on a turn number 4. He knows he's got company now. Haggard with a 9 car, a Matt Loaf knocking on the door. Loaf had to regroup there for a moment. As Alec Fett in that 3rd spot, looks like that's how they're going to finish here on a turn number 4. Checkers on the front straightaway. It'll be Haggard, Loaf, Fett, and Stevens, the top 4. Sizable car count in your IMCA hobby stocks. It'll be James Burns in heat race number 1. 3 heats, top 4 will go to the redraw. Top 4 to the redraw. Everybody will qualify here tonight in your hobby stocks. James Burns, 27X out of Algona on the inside of the first row. On the outside, scheduled to be the 11. It is the 11 of Grant Hoagland from Wesley, starting 2nd. Jade Lang, the 43, out of Humboldt on the inside of row 2. Chris Krug out of Emmitsburg, the 91, will start 4th. Joe Doran out of Peyton, Iowa, in the 21X, starts 3rd. Tim Seidels, the T1M out of Emmitsburg, is in the 6th spot. Michael Lovrens, the 01 out of Burt, is on the inside of the 4th row. And Blaine Smith, the 35, out of Lake City, will be your 8th and final starter. 3 heats, top 4 to the redraw. All drivers will qualify. Lights down the back straightaway, 8 laps the distance. I forgot to mention there are bratwursts in the concession stand. I think I mentioned pulled pork, but I think there might even be a special on the bratwurst here tonight. Be sure to check that out in the concession stand. Green flag to the back straightaway. James Burns, the 27X, pulling away a bit, at least for now. On the back chute, hang on. Burnsy nearly lost the handle that time in turn number 4. Lang, Krug, Tim Seidels, Joe Doran, all in the top 5. Topless Joe got Seidels on the back straightaway, and now sizing up Chris Krug and put Doran up 1 out of 4. Burns leading. His Achilles heel has been turns 3 and 4, but don't look now. Joe Doran nearly the top 2. The 21X firing off on the inside of row number 3 in the 5th starting spot. And Joe Doran now knocking on the door. Jade Lang flanking to driver's right on the back straightaway. Doran another time. As Grant Hoagland, the 11 car, will pull to the infield. Boy, Doran has found his groove right down on the tires, right around the huggy pole of each side of the speedway. Doran finding something to work with under the white flag as Jade Lang falling back a number of car lengths. Timmy Seidels, Chris Krug, all in the family on the back straightaway as they tussle there for a moment. Checkers on the front, and look out, Joe Doran spinning in turn number 4. Burns will win it, then Lang, Seidels, and Krug. Well, unfortunately, that great drive around the bottom side of the speedway for Joe Doran will come up snake eyes, spinning the north side of the speedway. Heat race number 2 in your hobby stocks. Top 4 will go to the redraw. All drivers qualify. Will Smith out of Lake City, the 31. On the inside of the first row, on the outside, Jeremy True out of Rudd, Iowa. In the 5K will start second. Dan Hanselman, the 98 out of Algona, is on the inside of the second row. On the outside, it's Drew Bargloff, the 45 from Sioux Rapids. Josh Seidels out of Emmett Spring, the 99X, is on the inside of the third row. On the outside is Brandon Nielsen, the T8 out of Spencer. Row number 4 is Nathan Ash, the 76A out of Armstrong. And outside, Tyler Beckler out of Titonka, the 88B. The starting lineup. Well, Keegan, your favorite driver, I presume, Nathan Ash, the 76A, will have a ways to go on this one, but Keegan, I'm hoping your birthday is a great one. Back VIP side, Will Smith, Jeremy True. On row number 1, we will fire them off for 8. We're underway. Will Smith leading in the back straightaway. Jeremy True settling into second. Bargloff losing ground there for a moment on the back straightaway. Seidels up a position, but a familiar foe will flank to the left-hand side. That is Brandon Nielsen. Nielsen, the T8, washed up the banking there for a moment as Hanselman lost a handful of car lengths out of that tussle. For third, fourth, and fifth, the Hanselman, as we come by another time here in the front straightaway. So Will Smith, the leader on the back straightaway. Mike's younger brother, the 31, leading over Jeremy True. Seidels, Nielsen, Hanselman, the rest of the top 5. Then some pretty good separation back here to Nathan Ash. And now Tyler Beckler up 1. It is all Smith, your leader here another time as we go to 1. Josh Seidels to the outside. We got 2 laps remaining. Seidels from the inside of the third row, digging hard. And now up into the top 2. True back to third. Nielsen still rides in fourth. It is all Will Smith leading here to the white flag. Half lap away from picking up heat race number 2. Is Will Smith, the young driver out of Lake City, Iowa, at the controls in 31. He will win it. Seidels, Drew Nielsen, and Hanselman, the top 5. Heat race number 3, Brandon Sherritt of Clear Lake, the 27 on the inside of row 1, alongside the 28 from Emmitsburg. That is Jay Seidels in starting second. Trevor Iverson, the 9 out of Welcome, Minnesota, on the inside of row number 2. On the outside is Steve Wickman, the 48 out of Emmitsburg. Waylon Bruno, the B82 from Salix, Iowa, is on the inside of the 3rd row, and alongside is Seth Butler from Glidden, Iowa, the 22. Doug Wickman back at the controls of an automobile here at the racetrack. The 248 will be on the inside of the 4th row. That is Doug Wickman from Algona. Then Nash Palmer from Renwick. His rookie campaign in the 17 will start 8th. Caution lights turned off on the back straightaway. Brandon Sherritt, Jay Seidels. All drivers qualify, top 4. Will find themselves in the redraw immediately after their respective heat races here tonight. Brandon Sherritt quickly out of the top spot, and we're wasting no time right now to be 3 wide, and I don't think that's going to pay off, and it will not for Seth Butler. Sher, Wickman, and then a mad scramble amongst 4 cars. Iverson and Doug Wickman able to get past Nash Palmer up a couple of spots as Jay Seidels with an issue at the top of turn number 2 will bring out a caution flag here in heat race number 3. So Jay Seidels still stopped at the exit of turn number 2. See if he needs some assistance. And if he's able to make his way back into this heat race as they run here at the moment. It is Sher, Steve Wickman, Iverson. And then we'll figure it out between either Bruno in the B82 or Doug Wickman in the 248. Looks like that has been determined as Wickman will restart in the 5th spot. Nash Palmer, then Seth Butler in the 22. I believe Butler picked up a early season hobby stock feature win at the Boone Speedway, if I am not mistaken, in the 22. Butler was the winner of the season opener here a year ago. And while we have a minute, I want to remind everybody what we talked about a little earlier in the program. We will run all of our heat races, then immediately run our Sport Compacts and Cruiser A-mains here tonight. Then we are going to stop if there's going to be any track prep or anything along those lines We will do it at that moment. We will then, at that same time, do the trophy presentation and quick interviews for the first 2 A mains. Then after that, it'll be every single A main. We'll take a short stoppage to allow the crews to exchange places in the back straightaway. We'll snap victory lane photos with the driver. I'll do a quick interview, and then we'll be back to A main feature action. At the conclusion of the night, our track photographers will be glad to be right here on the front straightaway. If your driver want to race and you want to have some group photos or family photos right here on the front straightaway, lights will be on, and we will do that at the conclusion of tonight's A features. A little different than in years past, but in an effort to keep the program rolling along. So something Kevin Long, track manager, wanted to give a shot here at the Kossuth County Speedway. Looks like track clear, single file, and we will come back to green. I think we are coming to lap number 3, I believe. Not yet to the halfway mark, and this one is, boy, Nash Palmer not afraid to bury that 17 car to the inside and able to get Wickman that time. At the north end of the speedway, Palmer, good run up into the top 5, has Doug Wickman dead ahead, and Palmer upside down, and we're under the red flag here tonight. So red on track as Palmer upside down here in turn number 4. As soon as I have word in turn number 4, I will be certainly passing it along. Driver is okay. I just heard that over the radio. So Nash Palmer, boy, was driving that thing hard into the corner. And unfortunately, it bit him at that time in turns 3 and 4. So best news of all, obviously, the son of Chad Palmer, Nash. Boy, he was fast. Unfortunately, got himself there a little tough spot and upside down. Thankfully, he is okay. As we were cleaning up turn number 4, was working on a couple things here at the tower here real quick. And we'll get this thing reset and get going again. So back with you. Looks like track is clear. We're going to go green the next time. Working on a couple of things up here in the tower. Sorry, I did get a note. Jell-O shots here tonight. I wondered if we had the return of Jell-O shots at the beverage garden. Raspberry and watermelon, the first two flavors on the docket here at the Kossuth County Speedway. I didn't ask about margaritas. Did we get the margarita machine turned on or no? Margaritas? I don't know. I think so. Maybe. I don't know. Heat race number 3, handful of laps left in this one. I think we're one away maybe from the halfway mark. Yeah, coming to lap 4 here once we come to the green flag, which Logan Kelly will display here in the front straightaway. Okay, I need everybody away from the fence, please. I mean, I know we're just having a little bit of fun bringing a kid up front, but please do not take youngsters up to the front of the racetrack next to the fence, no matter what the occasion or no matter how long. I appreciate your cooperation. Thank you very much. It's a good run for Iverson in the 9 car. Has worked his way up into the top 2. Doug Wickman taking that car and making a ton of repairs on it, rides in 3rd, and just steady as she goes is Doug Wickman in the 3rd spot as we head to turn number 1. Seth Butler, then Bruno, then Steve Wickman, the rest of the running order. Iverson, big wiggle on a turn number 2, and Doug Wickman jumps to the outside. Wickman, like we said earlier, just basically as steady as she goes approach, and he's going to drive the 248 now up into the top 2. Wickman has not been behind the wheel of a race car in a little bit, I think. Not terribly long, but had a little bit of a respite, rides in 2nd, and, well, we'll see what happens here to the white flag as Seth Butler, the 22, from deep in the field on an early restart. And Seth Butler trying to race his way out of an early heat race mistake in the 22. Got himself to 3rd. Steve Wickman looking for more. He and Iverson will continue to battle here on turns 3 and 4. Checkers on the front. It'll be Cher, Wickman, Butler, and Steve Wickman, the top 4.